Hey guys, Leah here with Ode to Paper. So I'm here with the first of 12 scrapbook layouts where I scraplift a 12 by 12 page and use a 6 by 6 papers to create that page. So today I am using some papers from Jelly Bean Soup. They're very old from Country Pumpkin Chowder from 2012. I will have two layouts using this paper pad, but they won't be back to back. They'll be spread out through the year. So I am scrapping a first day of school photo from my first child, and I'm just showing you uh, the um, the layout that I'm scrap lifting, and it is from a Hip Kit Club design team project by Tara McLean. And I don't know what year it's from, but I'll link the pin that I got it from down below. So I'm starting with a piece of craft paper, and I'm splattering some Tattered Angels. I think this is the leather spray. And I'm just going to soak up some of those dots just so that it's going to dry a little quicker. I don't need the pools. I just wanted, the effect of the drops, just so that the background wasn't so plain. Creates depth, creates interest. So I'm going to follow this sketch as close as I can with what I have. So I'm using 6 by 6 papers and a 4 by 4 photo. I believe it's 4 by 4. Oh, wrong. It's 3 by 3. So it's a 3 by 3 photo. So I'm going to mat that on this one sheet of paper. Now this, I don't know if you've ever had this paper pad, but it's very busy. It's a very busy paper pad. So there's lots of very tight little floral papers. I'm going to use one of the red and orange florals to mat my photo. And I'm going to use a block of this. Now they look like little number tags. So I'm going to use a big block for that. I'll use a piece. Actually, I'm going to use the whole sheet of the ledger paper in the background. And I'm going to play around with the placement of all of my blocks in the picture of the layout that I'm scrap lifting. She's got several different layers. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different layers. And I'm just going to do basically the same thing, but I'm going to make the layers work for me. So the layers aren't going in the same positions that she had them, but I'm using the sketch as a jumping off point to, to just give me a starting point. So I'm going to use some embellishments from Nicole Jones 911 Designs digital printables. And these are the 2-inch viewfinders in stripes. So they're the striped 2-inch viewfinders. I'm also going to include some banner pieces in the yellow. Also Nicole Jones 911 Designs. I'm also going to include some assorted arrows. And yeah, so there's a lot going on this page. In this paper pad, if you can see on the left-hand side there's sheets of little calendar pages. So I just end up taking a few of those and scattering them around. At the moment, I'm just fussy cutting out those arrows. I didn't cut it out just because there was only 3 of them to fussy cut, so it doesn't take me that long. So I'm going to place those in my clusters. I do end up with 3 main clusters. So there's the one at the top left. There's one a little bit down a little bit farther and on the right, and then there's one down at the bottom on the right. So here's where I'm going to start just placing some of those calendar pieces and just trying to, figure out where they're going to fit. Try to fit them in here and there. I tried to pick the calendar, the month that she would be in school. So I didn't pick July, I didn't pick August, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I end up tucking them in so you don't see the actual calendar, you just see the name of the month. which I thought just kind of really adds some interesting elements to the page. So there is September is closest to the photo because that's, when she started her first day of school. Her So we have September, October, November, December, January, February, and March, I think was the last one I got on there. I didn't want to overload the page, but I think they added a unique little element to it. So I'm just going to start putting things together. And what I'm trying to do is create one big element by gluing all of these papers together before I stick them to the background. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to place everything where I want it behind all of these layers. So I started at the top of the layer and then I'm just going to keep moving back where I want things. So just going to add that last, I think that's the last month to put behind there. So I'm going to end up sticking down this whole thing, which makes it so much easier to center everything, especially when you're working with layers of paper that are just kind of staggered on there and they're not square. They don't make a full square. They don't make a line. They don't make a diagonal line. It's easier for me to glue them together and then center them on the page than it is to try and center them on the page with gluing them down. So now I'm just putting all of my little elements together in my clusters where I'm making sure they go where I want them. Some of the papers I had punched out. So you see down at the bottom, I punched out a tab. Um, I punched out some hearts, and I've added those in the clusters as well, even some little circles, just to bring that circle element into the page again because I only had it with the viewfinders. So by punching out little circles of the pattern paper, it just kind of ties all the circles into the page. So I'll glue down my little arrows, and with arrows I like to try and always point them to the photo, and I just find that it kind of, leads your eye into the photo instead of running off the page or, off into the middle of nowhere basically. Oh, yes, so there's some of the punched out hearts that I had done. We'll glue those down, gluing down some corners, which I usually do close to the end of my layout, just to make sure that everything is not going to move. I use ATG generally to, place everything, but then before I'm finished, I will go and use liquid glue to secure everything down, especially on the corners because I don't want them to flap up and get caught. So I'm looking, and I think right now I'm looking through some embellishments. Oh yes, the stamp. So I have this old stamp, and it doesn't have the right year. I don't have any stamp with the year on it for this page, this photo. So what I end up doing is using the month, and I will stamp the month, and then I'll use these little tile stickers from Webster's Pages to put the year in, which was 2001. I also have these are from the Dollar Tree, and they're dimensional stickers. They're kind of like layered die cut stickers, but they have dimension to them. So I pick 3 of those out. The colors are very good match to the papers. So I'll put 1 in each of my clusters. And I also have that package of, they're like canvas banners and things, and they are from Pink Fresh studio, and I can't remember what the name of the collection is. But anyways, they're very, very cool. I like them. So there's one in the top right that says love. There's one on the top left that says fresh start. And then there's a dark blue banner underneath the photo that says small steps every day. So I'm going to get those glued down. I think aside from my title, the only other thing I put on here are some enamel dots and some enamel shapes from, I think they are Doodlebug. I could be wrong. Nope, they are. They're Doodlebug shape sprinkles. And they came out with a fall line from a couple years ago, so they're called Fall Leaves and Fall. Fall Leaves and, sorry, Fall Flowers. Imagine that. So I'm using this polka dot alphabet stickers from Webster's Pages again. Matched really well with this collection. So I am going to ink them up with my archival distress ink in ground espresso, just to make them stand out a little bit because on that dark flowered paper right behind the photo, they didn't stand out very well because of the very busy pattern. So I found that inking them up really helped them stand out better so you can see. So the title is First Day. And I'm going to get all of those glued down. I believe I do add some glue. Maybe I don't add any glue to these ones. I thought I did. Well, they're definitely stuck down there, so maybe I go back after. So while I'm doing that, I'll just let you know I have 12 videos planned for this series where I take 6x6 papers and create a 12 by 12 page scrap lifting a pin that I found on Pinterest. So this is the first one. This is this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. And I'm just looking at the photo of Haley in there now. And Haley is my oldest, so she's 23 now. 23? Yeah, 23. She's going to be 24. Oh my goodness. So this photo was from 2001. This is, yeah, 20 years later. It's amazing to me how fast time goes by and you don't realize it in the moment. But, oh yes, I am putting glue behind those letters. You don't realize it in the moment, but you look back and you think, wow, the last 20 years have just flown by. So I will get all of those letters stuck down. And I apologize, this video, I had to speed it up quite a bit so that I didn't have to cut a whole lot out of it. And I actually didn't end up cutting any out of it. Um, but I wanted to keep the whole thing, but I had to speed it up 4 times. And I'm not a huge fan of that because it becomes very hard to watch. So the other ones I'm hoping I won't have to speed it up so much. But in order to keep the length of the video shorter, I kind of had no choice in the matter. So here I am pulling out those fall leaves and fall flowers from Doodlebug. Also a perfect match. So I will get those down, and that is, no, I still have enamel dots to add. But once I add those enamel dots, that's it. Everything is done. And I really like the way this turned out. This will go in Haley's album. And I'm really, really, really happy with it. So I will see you again next month with another layout. And that one is actually featuring an older collection from Authentique. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.